Hello, Liberty and Law students. This is take 3 on this recording. A few interruptions in the background. That's what happens when you work at home. It's all good. It'll come together. Making a special announcement just for Liberty and Law class today. It is Monday, April 27th, 4:30. But making a special announcement for you guys because some of you may have already noticed I have posted in Canvas the 100 question civics and constitution test. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I think the first week of class we mentioned it. I know a lot of things have changed, but in regards to this, not much has, at least for those of you in class. It is a state law that you have to take this 100 question test and pass it with a 70 or above. That's required for graduation, and it is a state law. Because of that, it requires action on the part of the governor of the state legislature to avoid that or to work around that. And what has happened, Missouri governor did issue an order that seniors, if they had not passed this yet, would be exempted. I don't think there are any seniors in the course, so it doesn't apply to anybody, and it does. All juniors do have to pass it in order to graduate, so we all still have to do it. It is still part of the class. I was hoping they might cut us some slack, maybe reduce the amount, but that has not happened. So we will take the test. It is the district created, the Springfield School District created 100 question test, and again, you have to pass it with 70 or above. It's all multiple choice. I believe most of the questions only have 3 choices, so that simplifies it a bit. But have to take it, have to pass it with 70 or above to graduate. A bit more about that in a moment. I posted the test in Canvas 3 different places. I want to make sure nobody misses it. First place is in Unit 4, which is the module we're currently in, under week number 6, right under the week number 6 321 assignment. Second place is in Unit 5, which is on the Constitution. It'll be the only item that's in there currently. And you can find it there. And then last of all, there's a module titled Constitution Test and Final. And you can find it there. And I believe the practice EOC is in there and the practice EOC key. You might want to look at that before you look at the test because some of the questions are similar. That might help some. In that regard, the test is open resource. It's not open friend or open family member. You have to do it on your own, but you can use resources. You do not have a textbook, but we've got a number of resources we've used in class. And I have, under the assignment details on the Canvas page, the assignment page, listed and linked a number of resources that I recommend that you use. I would use these before I went straight to Google. Most of those resources are websites that have their own search bar, so you could type in the term, a term from the question, limited government, for example. Search that, and you should be able to find some information on that in that source. So again, I would use those before I went straight to Google to try to find information. The test is not timed, so there's no time limit. You can enter into the test, start it, answer as many questions as you have time for. If you need to move on to something else, you can stop, leave the test, come back into it later, and all of your work should be saved, and you can pick up where you left off. Also, you have an unlimited number of retakes. Generally, that's not needed. Most people get through it in their first attempt. But if you do, it's available. And almost everybody on their second attempt. If you're in a problem, let me know. But you can retake it as often as you need. I've given you a big chunk of time to get this done, and I put it up really early because I want you to have plenty of time to go to work through this. It is actually due Tuesday, May 12th, which may seem a way off, actually just 2 weeks away, but gives you plenty of time, more than a sufficient amount of time, I think, to get through this. That is finals week, but it is before the end of finals week. That gives me time to get them graded and and in the book and take care of any issues that might arise. But I'd like for you, if you can, to complete it as soon as possible, just so that is one big hurdle out of the way for you. And I will tell you there are some things that we have not gotten to. Again, liberty and law should be a full credit, as you've heard me say many times. There's a lot to cover. There's some things that even in normal circumstances we wouldn't get to, but we haven't this time around. And again, that's why I make it open resource. That's why it is a essentially take-home test. Always is, but especially in this situation. So you do have a lot of leeway on that. But again, I would encourage you to get started on that as soon as possible and try to get it out of the way as quickly as you can so that it's not hanging over you. And I will be, as May 12th nears, and if you have not finished, I will probably be nagging you about that because I want to make sure you take care of it. If you don't pass, you will end up having to take it sometime next year before you graduate. And it would just be much simpler to have it taken care of within the course, out of the way, and not having to worry about it. There's too many variables that could occur that could make it much more complicated to do if you don't get it done within the class. And it is part of your grade in the class. It's 100 points, so that's a huge chunk of your grade as well. So that's another element to this. But don't blow it off. Don't dismiss it. You don't want to deal with this next year, and we would not. We don't want to have to be dealing with it next year either. So get it taken care of before the class is over with so we can move on. And as I said, try to get it as soon as possible. If you're in any problems, I am more than happy to work with you and help you. I will get you through this. Everybody's done what they need to do. If we need to, we can't do a personal meeting. We can't meet face-to-face because of the current situation. But I could do a phone meeting. I could also do a Zoom meeting. If you haven't done a Zoom, those are very easy to do. We could set that up. If you find that necessary, send me an email and we can set up a time to schedule that. But I am more than willing to reach out and help you with this. So, again, today, the 100-question Constitution Civics test required for graduation, required to pass it with a 70 or above, was posted. That is due by Tuesday, May 12th. And I'd like for you to complete that as soon as you can. It is open resource. It is untimed. You can go in and out of the test as needed. But I think most students find that they can get through it in the first attempt and that it is not as horrible as they might have feared. So don't be overly concerned, but do get it taken care of and cranked out. I know you can all do this, and we'll all be in good shape. It's doable. And as I said, I'll help you. We'll get through this and we'll move on. So I think that covers everything. But if you have questions, please feel free to contact me. The best way is to shoot me an email or a Canvas message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So again, hope everybody's doing well. Miss you guys. Miss having you in class. We've only got 2 weeks left of class and then finals week, so we're close. Hang in there and take care of the 100-question Constitution Civics test, and we'll move on down the road towards graduation. Again, if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off, and I will probably post another announcement as I have the past few weeks, just in general for all the classes about what's going on this week. Everybody take care and stay safe.